Welcome to another episode of the List Night Podcast. My name is Griffin, and as always, I'll be the tall, dark, and subjectively handsome host of this pod. Each week, I'm joined by my much funnier friends, Andrew Simon and Thomas Albert. If you're new to List Night or need a refresher, here's the breakdown. Each episode will dive into a subject that we predetermined and thought about all week in order to individually rank things according to our opinions on that subject. Lists may be subjective, but we're all more than happy to tell each other why our lists are better than others. This pod is still new, and each week may be a bit different, and the format could change as we figure things out. If there's something you like or don't like, tweet us at List Night and let us know. List Night is for the people, and we want to see your list each week too. If you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help grow our channel. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or any other audio app, don't forget to subscribe to get each new episode as soon as they release. Thanks again for joining us for another episode, and without further ado, let's get into it. Gross motherfucker. All
Want to get another beer before we
restart
start?
I didn't say that I was checking the audio.
Okay.
But
Griffin, I was talking to Andrew that we need to look into houses with studios so we can really dive into this.
Oh, like with like audio studios. I thought you meant like a studio apartment for the three of us.
That works too. And then just like we each get a corner, and then the fourth corner is for list night.
I would definitely stay in the middle of the room. There's no chance that in a room of the three of us, I would confine myself to a corner. We got to get one of those big, like, I don't think it was Austin Powers. No, like Shaq. We'll get a big Shaq Superman bed, and that'll just be the entire room, and we'll all just record the podcast from the big Shaq Superman bed. And maybe Shaq will guest star.
Yeah, what you were thinking of Austin Powers was his
rotating
rotating like
rotating one,
groovy bed. We should have a list of best
That was on
beds in movies and TV.
I don't think that we should have the Austin Powers groovy bed because I don't want to find out just how far our bisexuality goes. At least not with the two of you.
Yeah, your Griffin, your bisexuality goes as far as you're willing to go with women.
I don't really know. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm.
In other words, there's nothing off the table with men.
Yeah, I mean that's fair though. I mean, why would there be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feeling good now. Time to win a list.
I had something to say, but I lost it now.
Too busy thinking about me and men. That's all right, Thomas. Keep it in your pants.
Are you
sending it? Are you throwing it my way?
Lose it.
Oh, you're throwing it away.
Oh, he's heaving it. He's heaving it. He's threw it away. He didn't. Never mind.
He literally lost his headset. Oh man.
Did you get that?
Guy's an
pretty
audio
heavy.
engineer, if I've ever seen one.
I'm getting pretty tired of carrying this podcast and having to throw it to you.
You are legitimately out of breath from throwing something that literally did not have weight.
I'm not a healthy person.
God, you're still a week away from being able to blame it on knee surgery, though. So,
Fair.
all right, guys, this is what we're doing this week. We're doing fictional settings we'd most want to live in, and for the order this week, we're gonna go Andrew, and then we're gonna go Thomas, and then we're gonna go me, just like week one order. And I don't think we really set any rules on this one, much like every other week. Got to be a fictional setting, can be a fictional Earth, can be completely unrelated to Earth. It can be fantasy, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic. It can be any of that stuff. I don't really know why you would want to live in a post-apocalyptic Earth, but it's on the table, I guess. If somebody's going to say 5 different zombie movies, that's on them. Yeah, so that's going to be it. Andrew, like I said, we're going to start off with you. Yeah.
Like you were just talking about how cool badass killing zombies is. Like I assumed your list was gonna be like
Oh
you in
no, I
Zombieland.
was just trying to lead you guys astray.
Oh yeah, really.
Yeah, I wanted you to think that I had zombie movies on my list in the hopes that you would try and pick them ahead of me, and then I would get everything that I actually want.
Is this your form of a hustle? Because you're bad at it.
Well, in most scenarios, I wouldn't have told you about the hustle, but now it's content. So, yes, this is me trying to hustle you and being bad at it.
All right.
Yeah.
When they
so
option this
one,
podcast for a movie, like they are going to focus on how good of a hustler, how good of a hustler I am. It's going to be written by
Who do you
Aaron
want
Sorkin.
to play you?
Who do I want to play me?
Do we want to save that for a list another night? Because I got
Let's
some
save
more.
that.
We'll save
let's
the
save that.
celebrities that I want to play me for another night. But in my perfect world, Thomas would play me.
See, that's fair. I think we should all just play someone
That
else.
could be a good one where we just each play each other.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
in.
just like a really weird version of this reality where we're still basically the same person, but like Thomas is tall and I'm funny, and Andrew, you're still Andrew for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh, so we're in like a Freaky Friday situation.
Yes, but we were born that way. I don't want it to be a body swap. I want to have always been Thomas. Let's go, Andrew.
Right.
It's your turn to pick. Fictional setting
Andrew,
you most want to live in, my guy. Let's get after it.
Get us away from this track.
Yeah. So this week, this was another interesting topic. I immediately heard what we were doing, and I thought of like 20 different fantasy or just fictional settings that I threw on my list, and then I talked myself out of about 10 to 15 of them, which is perfect because I'm left with 5, which is how many we need. But the struggle for my number 5, the between my number 6 and number 5, will give you a sense of in like how many directions I could have gone with this. So my number 6, the one that didn't make the list, I'll just briefly mention it. Mount Olympus, where the Greek gods, all lived. So Mount Olympus is obviously an actual mountain, but in mythology, it was also like the home place of them. Anyways,
Sure.
That's not on my list. Number 5, Bedrock from the Flintstones.
From the Flintstones.
So I included Bedrock from the Flintstones, not only because I want more boomers to listen to this podcast, but also
Spread the wealth.
right, but also because it's I feel like it was a fun place. There was like dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, all like sorts of cool creatures, like now extinct creatures that they were just like friends with. They weren't even like predators in Bedrock. They were just like pets and friends. So I think that would be really cool, because I'm still a little bit of a dinosaur nerd at heart. I feel like dinosaurs are awesome. And I also just like their innovation with technology, whether it was like the car that they would run, or I'm trying to think of other things that they had in that show. But there was a lot of like cool sort of gadgets. They didn't seem to be struggling with the fact that they lived in prehistoric times and that they didn't have all of the modern technology of today. So I think it'd be a fun place to live. Also, I just want to hang out with Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. I feel like those two guys, it's as fun as it gets.
All right, so I had 2 points, and now I have 3 points. 1, dinosaurs are cool, and I respect that part of your pick, and that's kind of where my respect for your pick ends. 2, you want to trade your mundane, normal life in this technological era for a mundane, prehistoric life where you still do all of the same things that you do now, like drive a car and go to work and fight with your significant other and have kids that you don't really like and have pets that you do like because pets are the best. Like that's what you want to do. You want to just it's fine. You wanna trade your existing life for just a slightly different version of your existing life. That's number 2. Number 3, the absolute ego to think that you would be friends with Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. They are celebrities in that world. Are you hanging out with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Are you hanging out with other celebrity whose name I cannot think of off the top of my head? No, you are not. You're not doing that.
They're not celebrities. They're not celebrities.
Yeah.
They're
They
just
have
guys.
movies made after
No,
them.
no. They're celebrities to us.
Yeah,
they're not celebrities in their world.
I think they are celebrities in the world.
Earth.
I think they've got like a
No.
Jim Carrey movie. What's it called? Where he's in a movie.
Oh, a Truman Show?
Truman Show. I
Mask?
feel like
Truman
they've got
Show?
like a Truman Show thing going on around them.
No.
They get
Have
into
you not
hijinks. I don't
seen
get
the
it.
movie?
The one with Halle Berry?
Yeah.
They're like everyday like working dudes.
Yeah.
Like
They're just like they're common. They're Joe Schmo.
I don't think there's any
they would
universe.
absolutely get a beer with me.
I don't think there's any universe where you would be friends with any version of John Goodman. I'm just putting it out there.
See, okay. I feel like you're focusing really hard on the movies.
I don't think there's any universe where
But-
you're in the same social circle as Halle Berry. Again, yeah, maybe I'm focusing on the movies, but it has Halle Berry in it, and I love it.
Yeah, but she's a bad spoiler alert, guys. She's not a good person in the movie.
But I mean, we can live with that.
Anyway,
She's Halle Berry.
to this point, Andrew, I'm calling bullshit because as long as I know you, you don't enjoy to run. So why would you want to run to make your car move? And two, you said they're friends with the dinosaurs. Like, I don't shit in my friends' mouths as the toilet. Like, I don't use my friends as utensils and appliances.
Was that a real part of the
I think
of
it
the
was.
Flintstones, or was that just? I feel like that was just Family Guy making fun.
I
of the
think it's
Flintstones.
canon now. I think it's canon.
Here's
No,
the moral of the story. We hate your 5th pick, so you have 4 more picks to impress us.
So what I'll say is, like, I think it'd be a cool place to visit, but to want to live, yeah, you're dumb.
Okay. Well, anyways, my number 4 I don't think is gonna impress anyone either.
As long as you know the expectations.
My list is a little top heavy. Number 4 is the Chocolate Factory from Willy Wonka / Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, number 1, candy. That's all I really have to say. But number 2, I feel like I would be good friends with the Oompa Loompas. I like music, and I like just people that work hard and are loyal. And then also, anytime
small.
misbehaving children, anytime misbehaving children come in there, they promptly get like disfigured and thrown out. So that's nice.
Killed.
I mean, it's gray area. It's a gray area.
So I thought about Willy Wonka's factory, and I was like, it seems more dangerous than enjoyable. And I'm a little concerned because at this point, I think your list is just about wanting friends. And you're picking some weird friends. Like, do the Oompa Loompas actually talk?
Here's where my concern comes in for this
They
one.
sing. I don't know if they just talk without song.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not even that you want friends. It's that you want friends with like a really wildly specific group of people, like a parent and their young child, or a grandfather and their young child, or a candy maker who's like killing kids. Like, who?
Yeah, but
who
he
do
also
you
gave a
think
kid a
you
lot of money.
are? Who do you think you are in Willy Wonka? Do you think you're Willy Wonka?
No, I want to be friends with Willy Wonka.
I think he'd be Toby.
You're like Willy
Carol
Wonka's
would be friends
understudy?
with.
Yeah, I think he's an awful person and kind of creepy. But I just want to be on his good side so that I get all the candy and all the benefits of the factory, but I don't get turned into a blueberry.
So it's like your relationship with Griffin. Like, he's kind of creepy and scary, but you're on his good side.
But there's no drawbacks to being on my bad side. I can't turn people into blueberries. I can just harass them.
We don't know that. We're on your good side. We don't know that.
You're on my good side for now. See how this pod goes.
Like I said, I thought about this, and then I was like, I don't actually want to go there. Like,
So I will say I tried.
I love candy.
Yeah, I thought this would get Griffin for sure because he is a candy guy.
I'm a candy guy.
But I will say my number 4 and 5. I tried to be a little bit more creative than just go with some, like fantasy universe or some like super probably going to be at the top of most of our lists kind of places. I wanted to include a little bit of just diversity.
Well, now you know for the future that you shouldn't do that.
I should not do that. Yeah. Well, we'll see how the poll goes.
Yeah, I mean, we are a very diverse podcast.
That is how people describe us.
3 white guys just getting after it.
Yeah.
It's like every other podcast.
So number 3.
All right, your first 2 picks suck.
Number 3 on my list is Shire from The Hobbit and and Lord of the Rings. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go with just like all of Middle Earth or just like, a certain part, and I just settled on the Shire. A lot of my thought process for this list was like, do I want to go to a really cool place that is like kind of badass and cool, or do I just want to live a happy, peaceful life? and this and I decided on the Shire because I leaned more towards the latter. So I just figure the Shire is a very beautiful and fruitful place and a very happy place most of the time. I'd hang out with hobbits in peace and party and drink, and everyone would just be. I realize this is not making me look good when you already called me out on all my picks being so that I can have friends. So
Also, friends that are
Short-
specifically little people.
Yeah, like
I want to be the tallest.
Did you
That's
live
what I
with
was gonna
Matt for
say.
too long or something?
want-
Like, what is this?
I want to be. I want to be the tallest.
that's what I was gonna say.
just.
Like Oompa
Yeah.
Loompas, hobbits, and like Fred and Barney were not tall. Like
Oh, I mean, back then everyone was tiny.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
I think you just want to be tall.
Yeah, I just want to be tall.
Like a dwarf among midgets.
I don't. I mean, this is your best pick by far for the reason of like it's a super peaceful. Like it'd be a cool place to live. And like anywhere else in Middle Earth, like yeah, you'd die. So
So
you specifically.
I agree with Thomas on that one. I was at one point I was considering Middle Earth, and I was like, pretty much nothing good happens in Middle Earth. It's like cool to watch bad things happen, but I wouldn't want to live there. But the Shire specifically, they kind of just like smoke and eat and drink, and I assume fuck, because there's a shit ton of those kids. And then they eat more, and then they smoke more, and then they start over again the next day. Like they don't do that much, and I think that would be perfect for you. Like those are your people.
Do we think
Thank you. I don't know whether that was an insult or a compliment, but I take it as a compliment.
I'm not
do
gonna
you
tell
think
you.
Philip Rivers is going to retire to the Shire?
Philip Rivers.
Yeah,
I think
and like
Philip
just
Rivers
pop
is
kids
starting the
out.
Shire.
Close.
All right,
All right,
number,
your best
number
pick
three.
so
Number
far.
3 is a better pick. Yeah, I like it. I still think there's a weird thing going
Told you.
on with little people, but yeah, continue.
I'm making a comeback. Don't worry. Number 2. I think if we had guests on this podcast, people would have this on their list. But I feel like neither of you. Maybe you will. I don't know. It's the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Um, I included this on there. I thought about a few different magical related worlds. Obviously, well, Harry Potter is probably my favorite story out of the ones that I thought of. But
Case.
I didn't just choose it for that reason. I enjoy like the like low fantasy worlds where it's our world. It's just you have to know where to look for it. I like that part of Harry Potter. I just would like to have magical abilities, live in this world, and be able to sort of transport to that world whenever I want to. Um, this one I realize is a little broad because I could have chose a specific town or place within the Wizarding World,
That's fine.
but I just went with Wizarding World.
So
Thomas, you want to go? I'll let you go.
yeah, no, I'll go. You'd be a Muggle, so yeah, you can go, Griffin.
I am a Muggle.
You would
Yeah,
definitely
but
be a
like
Muggle.
you'd be in this world, but like you wouldn't be at Hogwarts. Like
You would again just be
in the world
living
you're
in this
now.
world.
It's literally your life now. Like Harry Potter could be real, and you don't know it, and that's what you'd be living in again.
I do like this pick under the assumption that you would be part of a magical family or you would be a wizard. So we'll say that that's the implication, I guess, is that you're going to be a wizard. Whatever. I do want to point out that I feel like in every episode so far, you've worn a shirt that has to do with your pick for the week. And should we expect that to continue? Are you buying these shirts specifically for the pod? Because we're not making any money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So I've tried to find a T-shirt that kind of fit the genre of what we've gone with so far, but I think the only shirts I have left at this point, and let's be clear, we're only 4 episodes in, and the only shirts that I have left at this point are just like 30 University of Maryland shirts. So unless we do all University of Maryland related things, then this might be the last episode where that happens.
Or you could buy more shirts.
2 weeks ago, from
Yeah.
what I understand, you wore your girlfriend's shirt. So as long as she has other shirts, clearly you're fine.
That's true. Yeah.
Also, I mean, pretty soon we'll all have Redbox T-shirts to wear. So
Oh yeah, Redbox sponsorship coming soon.
we'll talk about that at the end, guys. Don't worry, we'll save ads for the end.
Cool.
I will
So,
say this is. I am. Like I could have put this on your list. Like I knew it was coming from someone, and I just assumed it was. I didn't even notice the shirt, but
Yeah.
like
I really considered it a number one too, but I didn't want to be too predictable.
yeah. Well, you were.
I think
You
out
were.
of my entire list, this would be like the coolest one to be in, obviously, because just to be able to learn and do magic.
So then it should be your number one.
Yeah, but I have reasons for my number one being my number one.
Let's hear them.
Okay.
Speaking
get
of
after
which, my number one is the Kanto region of the Pokemon universe. So, Pokemon Red and Blue are probably my favorite video games of all time. I think that every kid growing up 90s and early 2000s wanted / still wants to be a Pokemon trainer. I picked Kanto region because I know it so well from playing Pokemon Blue like 100,000 times. I think there are a lot of cool areas that I would love to see, like the Safari Zone, the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City, a lot of the gyms and Indigo Plateau. I just know that game and that map in and out, so I just feel like I would dominate, and I get to raise and train Pokemon. So that's my number one.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw this one coming. I didn't realize you're going to be so specific in the region, but like a Pokemon, I was like, yeah. Who would you start with if you were living the game? Who would you start with?
Squirtle.
God damn it, you're basic. All right,
Idiot.
go on.
I don't have anything to disagree with you on this pick about. I didn't think it was coming. I don't know why I didn't even consider this. But now that you've said it, we're gonna put that one on my long list. I mean, there's probably very few universes that as a kid I did not want to actually like be transported to magically at some point. So I mean, it took you a few picks, but you did eventually get to some good picks. Harry Potter universe is a good pick. Kanto region's a good pick. I feel like it's weird that you're ignoring the Johto region because Johto is pretty cool too, but Kanto's great.
Yeah, I considered Johto, especially because, well, I guess in the Gold and Silver games you go to both regions.
You go to both,
so
yeah.
But I mostly just did it because I love that game. I know that map, and I know the Pokemon in that region, which I think is useful. So that's my list. Number 5, Ed Rock from the Flintstones. Number 4, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Number 3, Briar from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. 2, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And number 1, the Kanto region of the Pokemon universe. And I believe, Thomas, you are up next.
Yeah, and I'll say, I mean, overall, your list is not good.
It's doo doo.
And that's not. Yeah, that's both a personal opinion and like just the right opinion.
If you win this week, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I'm gonna win. I'm absolutely gonna win.
Harry Potter is gonna win you. Yes, it is, and that's such an awful thing. That's so annoying to me.
Well, yeah. Here's the issue. Once again, he'll win just based off people reading the list, but they watch the podcast, they'll realize that he's dumb and just I'm smart.
And they'll realize that we also think he's dumb.
I will say, like I said, I thought about Willy Wonka. Middle Earth obviously crossed my mind just as a place in whole, but I never really considered it. Mount Olympus did not make my list, but it's also my top 10 that I thought about, and I realized like a lot of terrible things actually happened there. And that's something
Yeah.
I thought about too. Like, obviously, if it's up to us, like if you were in the Harry Potter world, you'd be a wizard. But I also like I try to pick ones where like I wouldn't necessarily be exactly what I want to be. But like I so whatever. I'll start my list. Um, Number 5 uh, is Arendelle from Frozen, and I'll tell you why. Because I think me and Elsa would be a terrific couple. And that's really it. I think I could give her all the love she needs. Uh, I like the cold.
Elsa, to
I
to be clear, Elsa, who is like unambiguously a lesbian.
I mean I think she's bisexual.
Is
So
she?
like
Oh, I
I
might,
mean
like, I feel like that's just like one of those things that maybe Twitter has convinced me of. I thought Elsa was like, I don't know that much about
well
the
like
Frozen universe. I thought she was a straight up lesbian.
fine. Even I can just be her friend. Like I think
That's
we'd have
fine
a
too.
great
That's
She
cool.
friendship.
That's
Elsa
cool.
Elsa is as bisexual as she'll go as far as with men. I, I couldn't get the sentence out.
That was an awful sentence, and you should be ashamed.
uh, I, anyway, it's really all about Elsa in this scenario.
Fair.
Olaf, I would probably, if he's only around in the winter, I'm fine with that. We could just melt him down the rest of the year. That's cool. But I just think me and Elsa would be a good time, and that's all I'm asking for. Plus, she's rich, she's got power. I'm into it.
So that you wouldn't have to hang out with Olaf, you would melt him down. You wouldn't just be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, go do something else for 9 months."
No, because like he'd show up.
Yeah, I mean he's
I would
gonna.
have, I would have expected that you would have preferred the friendship with Olaf. I feel like you guys would have a great time, just with like
No, see,
semi-witty
I think
one-liners.
I think he'd steal my shtick too much.
Oh,
So
okay, okay. So it's a jealousy thing.
yeah, not a jealousy thing, like competition thing. Like I don't want competition for Elsa's attention, especially from a snowman.
It's a little bit of jealousy thing.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
like no, he
This
can do
is
things I can't
I
do.
Thomas, I sadly get where you're coming from because when I first saw Frozen, I was like, "Yep, Elsa, immediate cartoon crush, 100%,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely." That scene where she's like going to the castle or whatever, or she builds the castle and she builds the stairs
Yeah.
and like lets her hair down. Oh boy,
Oh boy, yeah. Let it go. I'm telling you, if Lola Bunny Space Jam was my cartoon crush. I'm not afraid to say that. It was a bunny. Whatever. Get over it. Uh, Now I'm older. It's Elsa.
you've matured.
Cartoon crushes list, coming again eventually. Definitely one that we have
Eventually.
on the docket.
But yeah, I mean that's number 5. And I have a 10. I have a solid 10. And yeah, I mean this is a number 5. Like it's really just for her. I mean the place is beautiful too, and surrounding areas seem cool, and the movies themselves are beautiful. So a good time. Number 4, it'd be the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But only if I could be a bender, because like I don't want to be just a normal guy in there. It sounds pretty boring. It's like
You
when
don't want to be
Andrew's in Harry
Sokka?
Potter world. I don't want to be soccer because I'm not dedicated or talented enough to be like
Right,
good enough at something.
right. You need
But
a
if I'm a
leg up on the
bender,
competition.
exactly.
Got
Like
it.
Olaf can be melted. I can't. That's a leg up. But no, after all this Airbender, I mean, I think it'd just be really cool to be able control of one of the elements. And then I love the show, still love the show. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I considered both that world and James Cameron's Avatar. I had them both both on my long list and talked myself out of both of them. But yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty popular pick.
Yeah, so I actually had them. Excuse me. I had the Legend of Korra version of the Avatar universe on my long list, as opposed to like the more Aang like spiritual time. because I mean, not that Legend of Korra I think was any better, but it just seemed a lot cooler and more fun, and like things were industrial, but like a lot of people clearly didn't have jobs and they were doing just fine as long as they were like benders and stuff. Like everyone like there was a lot
Yeah.
of people that were just like playing sports in the street. It seemed like a cool like early 1900s New York, but with people that could shoot fire out of their hands. So it's a good
Yeah, I
pick.
mean,
I do like the Avatar universe a lot. It's a very
yeah.
cool universe.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna be actually living in it, yeah, I'd go the timeline of horror just because it is a little more modern. But like you said, I mean, I could still go, live in the country by myself if I wanted
If
to.
if you had to bend any one element, what element would you bend?
Earth.
Earth. That I do believe that
Yeah.
about you. Yeah, you're
Uh,
stout.
Thanks.
That's a
What about you?
compliment. Water. Yeah, water.
I was gonna say water all day. That's why I
Yeah.
would choose Squirtle.
So dumb.
I just feel like fire. I feel like probably fits my personality the most. A lot of rage. But fire seems like it has like the least utility. Whereas water, it's like I'd just be like surfing all day and shit, and I wouldn't even need a surfboard.
Yes, I just surf on land, which is cooler.
That actually might be
Drown.
cooler. That's true. That might be cooler. I
Yeah.
could drown.
Surf
You
on
would just
avalanches.
get a concussion.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, just minor concussion, no big deal.
Yeah. No big deal.
All right, number 3, and this one just kind of came to me, and never would have thought about it before, but like, it would be pretty excited to live in this world. The universe of I don't know what to call it, but Shrek's universe. One because fairy tale characters are real, which I think is pretty cool. And much like Olaf, if they got annoying, I feel like I have a leg up on them, and I could, get rid of them pretty easily. But mostly, um, if Shrek is able to get a girl like Fiona, I think I do pretty well.
Oh, and it became a sad pick.
I think I
Yeah,
do
so I feel like
pretty well.
I got to fight back when you were making fun of me for wanting friends in mind, when clearly there's one reason that you're in this and traveling to all these universes, and it's to find someone. So
So
I'll just leave it at that.
there, on my overall list, there's a couple themes, but yeah, my top 5, like this and Arendelle also are, we'll call them love based, and then like after and another one are like travel the world to be cool based. But yes, this one may be a little sad.
Looking at my list, it's pretty much guaranteed that my girlfriend is going to vote for one of you guys, either for the Shrek pick or for the Harry Potter pick. She is not going to care about my list. But I will
Yeah,
also give a brief spoiler that one of my picks does have a lot to do with friendship. So this is the saddest pot in the world.
Yeah.
So Griffin, you're not you don't like this pick, at least because of Duloc. Duloc, which is the like literal making like satire and making fun of Disney World.
It's true.
I mean like I like Shrek. I like Shrek just fine. I would not put it on a list of places that I want to live.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it. I don't think that there's anything like in particular that
I guess it's a
Yeah,
funnier
cool about
medieval
the
like instead of like a
stories.
medieval place
Yeah.
where like people are dying left and right and like your village is getting pillaged. Like instead it's like, oh no, like stand up comedy every day of the week. So like there's upsides to
Yeah,
it.
like it's the benefits of like a Middle Earth medieval type thing, but like comical and fun. And I think it's a great pick. People gonna love it. People love me because people love Shrek. I was green. I look a little like Shrek. I think it's great.
You don't look
If anyone
unlike
was
Shrek.
green, they would look a little like Shrek.
All it takes is some green paint. All right. My number 2 crosses over with Andrew's, though I didn't narrow it down to a region. Mine was also Pokemon. Just the world, just being in a world with Pokemon in general. Not necessarily like Detective Pikachu Detective, whatever the movie's called.
Pikachu.
But yeah, like the games and the show we grew up with. Mainly, well, I guess two real reasons. Uh, Growlithe. I just want a Growlithe. I mean, I just do. Like, I who wouldn't? Why wouldn't you? It's a dog, tiger, fire thing. What? And second is you don't seem to actually need money, and you can just travel and walk and do whatever and be fine. So I'm into that.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing they spend
I
money
want.
on is like Pokemon related stuff. Like you can go anywhere for basically free.
And if you want money, all you have to do is beat someone in a fight.
Right, which speaking of which, I want to live in a world where if I don't walk directly in front of people, they don't see me, and I can walk within one step of them and just walk around them, and they don't talk to me.
that's that's a solid point.
So
I
you
like
want
that.
friends, but you also want to be deeply antisocial.
Only
Yeah,
if they're taller than him.
I want to dictate the terms.
Got it. Got it. All right.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
a
do
fair
believe
point.
that about you. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Wait,
okay.
also, last thing, would you ever evolve your Growlithe, or you would be like Ash with Pikachu, and you would be too emotional about it?
I'd let him do what he wants to do, or her. If they want to say Growlithe, you do you. If you want to be Arcanine, and I'm pretty sure Arcanines are so big you can ride them. It's always kind of ambiguous. Uh, that's fine
Seems like it
too.
would burn you.
No, they'd love me too much.
I feel like
I
you would know
will
not to.
say, yeah, I would say I would be like Ash, and I wouldn't put in a Pokeball. Um, but like then I'd feel about putting other ones in a Pokeball. So I think I'd be more like a free range kind of trainer. Come and go as you please. I have a whistle, so stay nearby. But
That's how I feel
live
about
free.
the Machoke that I would own. Like I wouldn't want it to evolve into a Machamp, but I would definitely let it stay out of its Pokeball unless it wanted to go into the Pokeball, and it would kind of just
I
do its
don't
own
want
thing.
to.
Let's just say that Thomas is to Elsa as Griffin is to Machoke.
Yeah, I see. I really didn't think about it to now, but I don't really want to get into that topic with Griffin
I don't
tonight
either.
I
I
don't think
don't
there's
either.
anything weird about
ever.
loving Machoke. He's a great Pokemon for a number of reasons.
So my number one pick is, and I feel like this is pretty out of left field, but it actually works for me perfectly. Uh, Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. I want to live in that world because you can eat anything,
Uh huh.
and it all looks delicious. And yeah, I mean that's all there is to it. I mean I can walk and just eat anything.
Andrew.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but that sounds great. That's similar uh, to why I picked Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. And honestly, if I had seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I might replace Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory because I'd rather have. I assume it's like all kinds of food. I'd rather have all kinds of food than just candy. So
There's like
I can't say anything other than I respect the
massive
fatness. I
pizza
respect it.
and cheeseburgers and tacos and everything.
Yeah,
That is honestly, and I never would have thought of it. I didn't even see this movie for the
yeah,
first time probably until the past like year and a half, 2 years. First off, that movie awesome. Second off, it's a dope universe, and like you don't even need to be the
yeah.
smart guy in the universe. You just need to be like semi adjacent to the smart guy in that universe, and you're gonna have dope inventions, and you're gonna have free food, and it's gonna be awesome free food. And also, like based on how that movie played out, like dirt's not a thing because stuff like falls on the ground and nobody cares, and also things don't go bad.
Yeah.
Like the food stays good forever. So you would be ridiculously obese, but it would be like the best kind of obese, and then you could go over to the Shrek universe and just like paint yourself green, and you'd be on your way.
Yeah. What's up, Fiona? No, they're both solid movies. Cloud Chance Meatball and Cloud Chance Meatballs too. And like with you, Griffin, like I only saw it longer than a year ago, but like they're pretty funny movies. But
Pretty good movie.
yeah, like all my other ones, like those would be cool universes if I was a certain person or a certain thing. Like I have to be, Elsa's love in Arendelle. I'd have to be a Bender in Avatar World. Shrek, I'd just be me. Pokemon, like I'd have to be a trainer. But like here, yeah, I don't have to be the guy who invented I forget the machine's name, but like just be a dude who's eating. And
Yeah.
if there's something bigger than me that eats me, I can just eat my way out. Where Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, like you die.
You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
You also gave me the idea that for bonus content, we should decide which two universes on our list we want to combine and live in that. Because you've made me think about it with like Shrek universe, but it's raining meatballs.
I think I could do that. I think I could do that. I'm into
I
that.
can be into that.
I like
I
it.
can be into that. Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
Thomas, your top 5?
yeah. So recap: 5, Arendelle, Frozen; 4, Avatar: Last Airbender. Um, just in general, probably. Oh, just in general. Shrek's Fairy Tale Universe, Pokemon, all regions, because I'm not a snob like Andrew. And then the Cloudy with a Chance Meatball Universe.
All right. Uh, just going off my head, I think that's a better list than Andrew's, but I feel like Harry Potter is going to steal him a lot of votes. And also, like, weird kids that can't get past their childhood are going to pick Willy Wonka.
But like, really, Wonka, like, I mean, we did watch it on childhood, but like, it didn't come out when we were kids. And then
Sure.
even the Johnny Depp one, like, we were teenagers when it came out, and it's just creepy.
Never seen it. Looked too
Yeah,
creepy.
I tried to, like I said, I tried to cover a lot of different generations of
Of short
universes.
people.
Yeah. Griffin,
All right. Griffin time. All
bring us
right.
home.
So this one, I have, since we started the spot, my list hasn't changed, but I've reordered it in my mind. So there's always the possibility that I will say something and then I will accidentally say it again because I'm looking at my notes and I didn't actually reorder them. But for my number 5 pick, I'm going to say the Land of Oo from Adventure Time. Uh, this is a post-apocalyptic pick, but it's like the complete non-post-apocalyptic. Like, unless you're like looking deeper into it, you can't tell that there was like an apocalypse that happened there. It's super whimsical. It's magical. Like, it's a crazy, interesting place where basically anything can happen at any time, and there very rarely seems to be any like real consequences for people's actions. Like, I guess there are, like, you can get hurt and stuff, but like people seem to just shrug off like any sort of like physical malady. There's cool stuff to find everywhere. It's supposed to be planet Earth, but it's like you're also like in space sometimes, and you're like in other dimensions sometimes, and you're in underground layers sometimes, and you meet the devil, and he's like kind of cool. Like, I'm into that universe. I want to be friends with the devil. I want to date the devil's daughter. That sounds like a lot of fun until it's not. Yeah, The Land of Oo from Adventure Time. I also love Adventure Time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a show I've watched really. Like, I've seen it, but it's nothing I've ever gotten into. But I totally get it because there was a couple on my longer list that I had for similar reasons of like just the shenanigans you can get into with seemingly no consequences. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Adventure Time is one of those shows that same as Thomas. I just haven't been into it as much as I probably should. I know it's like critically acclaimed among all ages. Um,
Much like your list.
but I don't. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, love a whimsical universe where things don't really go that wrong and there's tons of adventure.
Yeah, love whimsy, love adventure.
I will say it's like a weirdly specific desire to date the devil's daughter.
Well,
But
in the show,
into
he
what you're
dates the
into.
devil's daughter, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm no, I won't kink shame. You do you.
I don't think that's a kink. Because I think, I'm not going to go into why I don't think that's a kink, but I don't think that's a kink. I think that's just as a specific preference. Regardless,
Why don't you tell us? Yeah, tell us your number 4 or number 3 or number 2 or whatever you're going to call it.
my number
Since
4 pick,
order doesn't matter to
my
you.
number 4 pick, very similar to you guys wanting friends, 100 Acre Wood from Winnie the Pooh. And there's definitely some nostalgia to this. You know, when I was growing up, Winnie the Pooh, and Curious George were my stuffed animals that I loved more than anything itself. And I was a huge Winnie the Pooh guy, and I watched the Winnie the Pooh like animated movies all the time. But it's in the current like ridiculously deeply stressful world that we live in, the idea of a calm, relaxing, friendly place where nothing bad ever really happens outside of like they have small conflicts like Pooh getting covered in honey and getting stung by bees, but he's always fine afterwards. And Christopher Robin's always coming in with like a kind word and stuff like that. I don't know if I would be Christopher Robin or if I would be one of the stuffed animals. I think I'd be one of the stuffed animals, but yeah, it's just like it's a nice relaxing change of pace from all these like fantasy worlds where like wars are happening in the background or like everything kind of sucks, but at least you have magic.
So it did cross my mind, and I was gonna Hundred Acre Woods cross my mind, and I was gonna ask you who you are in this scenario. Like you just another guy walking through the woods.
Griffin
I
the Pooh.
I think I'd be. I feel like you got to be your own character because like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd be like Andrew would be
So
Eeyore,
my,
but
my other thing is like you say nothing bad happens there, but like I don't know, the whole hallucination with those elephants, pretty scary stuff
I mean
with
you
Tigger and
can't say that a
whatnot.
bad
Like,
trip is really that bad because at least you wake up from it.
uh, okay, fair. But I also like I didn't put it on my list because it's like I don't know, it seemed boring,
You're
like in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got another hot take incoming. I, I'm not going to go as far as to say fuck Winnie the Pooh. It's fine. It's great. It's great. It's really like nostalgia goes a long way. Like kindness goes a long way. Blah 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 blah. But like at a certain point, it's just like fucking puke. Like you said, like Christopher Robin just comes in and says a kind word. It's like go fuck yourself. I'm all for peace and like having fun and like
Are
and
you?
yeah, no, I am. And that's why I have like a place like the Shire. But at least the hobbits are like smoking and drinking and like
The
I
Shire
don't
gets
know,
burned to the ground.
whatever. But it's just like, oh my god, like this is why I didn't include like super like preschooly type shows on mine because I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm too like East Coast, like move it along, like I'm like like just
I thought about the
I'm good
world of
with
So
all the
Dragon Tales. It was between the world of Dragon Tales and the world of Winnie the Pooh for my like childhood innocence pick, because I was like, I mean, like
so
that's like a fantasy world, but again, like you get to ride dragons.
but
That's
Griffin, just
awesome.
for a second, just imagine like you're seriously dropped into the 100 Acre Woods and you meet up with
slowly
Winnie
branch
the Pooh
out.
and the gang. Like it's gonna be great for like a day, and then you're gonna get so sick of them just being like super like bubbly and like nice to you all the time.
I
And it's
think
like, don't tell
I
me
would
that
conquer it, and Christopher Robin would come into town, and we would jack that kid
don't
up.
tell me yeah,
So
don't exactly. Don't tell me that Christopher Robin would not be the exact kind of person that we would like cyberbully or something.
right, we don't promote cyberbullying and we don't do it.
No, we don't.
Well,
No, we don't.
we
Or
So
we, we're not against it.
I'm torn because I agree with what Andrew's saying, where like I would end up hating it there. But I do have a lot of nostalgia for it. Like my blanket that I had, like my little like, blankie was Winnie the Pooh. My mom even painted like 100 Acre Woods on my walls, like with characters and all at one point. Like so like I was, clearly into it. But yeah, if I were to go there now, it'd be fun for like half a day, and then like I probably want to punt Piglet and punch Christopher Robin and maybe
I
hang out
think
with Tigger, and then I'd be like, "You're annoying."
I think that would be something for us to overcome in this peaceful utopia of a society.
I don't think we're peaceful enough people to be in the Acre Woods.
I just want to change.
Griffin, are you
Let
saying
me
that
change.
are you saying that I'm the problem? Are you saying that I'm the problem and that I need to work on myself because I'm not listening to this?
Like I said, Eeyore, the guy that needs to grow. Okay, moving on to
Honestly,
pick number 3.
all three of us would be the Eeyore in this situation.
Oh yeah, no, we would have so many issues. Every week, Christopher Robin would show up, and he'd be like, "What do we have to deal with this time?" Yeah, number 3. Number 3 on my list, and this one is firmly number 3. I don't. It's one that I care a lot about, but I don't know how many other people are going to care a ton about it.
Before you say this, I feel like it's weird for the one you're most firm about to be 3.
Top 3.
Usually
Top 3.
it's 1.
The top 3 are pretty strong for me, but like, it wasn't gonna be 2 or 1. Like, it's pretty firmly 3.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Azeroth from the Warcraft series, particularly just based on like the content that they made, particularly the World of Warcraft game, as opposed to like Warcraft 1 through 3. In the World of Warcraft universe, basically anybody at any given time can walk out of their village, kill a couple wolves, get a little bit strong. Not even wolves at the beginning. You kill like random like goblins and rats and stuff. Kill a couple of those things, get weirdly stronger for whatever reason, take gold off of their body, and then proceed to like kill their way across the land until by the end of this, you're essentially like a demigod. And there's no requirement for you to do these things other than walking out of your starting village and progressing through the world. Like, naturally, it kind of just comes to you, and you go from being a nobody to being the most important person in the universe. And so there might be like a meta level to this pick where like Griffin's really struggling to deal with his place in the universe, including the fact that I just referred to myself in third person. But it's a cool universe. Like, it's a medieval universe, but it's like a really bright and fun version of a medieval universe. And there's a lot of variety to it. Like, it has a lot of really, really cool landscapes and stuff. So it's not just like more of the same like medieval fantasy where everything is dark and like dreary and boring. It's a very fun version of that where you still end up super powerful and awesome.
So I've never played World of Warcraft. Like, I mean, I obviously know about it. But that being said, I feel like it's just like Pokemon. Like, you leave your house, you beat up a Pokemon, you take it, and then you travel around and beat up other Pokemon and other people. But also, real 180 from 100 Acre Woods, where everything's peaceful, and now you're literally just walking around killing things.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, I'm going to look like the bad guy because of my take about the 100 Acre Woods. But if people listened literally 2 minutes later, your next pick is like, I want to murder everything that stands in my way.
And be a demigod.
Yeah, that's why I said 100 Acre Wood is my peaceful pick, and everything else is kind of like, it's me.
I also think that if we roll with my idea for the bonus content where you combine 2 universes, see World of Warcraft and the 100 Acre Woods.
Oh, Pooh would die so
I don't
fast.
want to rule it out. Yeah, Pooh and me just rocking together and killing wolves and dragons and stuff. That's a game that I would play. That's a movie I'd watch. That's a universe that I would live in.
I would say there's a shirt out there I've always wanted of the 100 Acre Wood characters, but like as life animals, and it looks awesome. Like, Pooh is like a legit bear with a shirt on, and I think it's one of the best shirts I've ever seen. If someone wants to send it to me,
and maybe one of your fans will send it. So drop your PO box.
When you're editing the pod later, you can throw up an Amazon link to it and see just how much people care about us.
See who sends it my way.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I've got a lot of money in my Venmo. Moving on to my number 2 pick, and my list. Like, I know that a lot of this is gonna be stuff that you guys don't particularly give a shit about, because I'm more interesting than you, and that's fine. My number 2 pick is
You had the most boring pick.
You're the most boring pick. If I could live in a fictional universe, it wouldn't be Thomas's brain. I'll say that.
Go to 2, man.
My number 2 pick is the world of One Piece, and it's literally just called the world in the One Piece universe. One Piece, for anyone that's not aware, is an incredibly popular manga and anime. It's like a naval society, and everyone is pirates, or everyone cool, at least in the universe, is pirates. So first off, I get to be a pirate. And it's not like boring, ugly, like shitty teeth, like probably has a lot of diseases pirate. It's like a really fashionable pirate that also has like superhuman abilities. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I get to sail the high seas. I get to have adventures. Again, I get to be a pirate, and that's like what I want more than anything, except for my number one pick. And yeah, I just get to like sail around with my friends and get into misadventures and adventures. And you know, if we save the world, we save the world, but it's not the priority. You know, we're just trying to pirate the high seas.
So, yeah, man, I'm glad you described it because I had no idea what it was. You did mention pirates and how much you love them earlier, but much like me in the Avatar universe, where I probably wouldn't be a bender, I'd probably be just a Joe Schmo. Andrew would be a Muggle in Harry Potter. You said the cool characters are pirates. You probably get pirated, I
I
assume, in
definitely
this
get pirated.
universe.
Yeah, but based off of how that show goes, that usually leads to them then becoming pirates. So it's like it's a constant
Vicious
circle of
cycle.
pirating people and then them becoming pirates and then someone else gets pirated. When I say it like that, it seems like a pretty bad place to live, but let me tell you, it's a joyous world.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either. So thanks for describing it. It does sound like you made it up in your head with how many things like are so you, like just the wanting to be a pirate and that they somehow just care about fashion. It's like, okay.
I like
It's
that
like
I'm renowned for wanting to be a pirate. As a 28-year-old man, I'm glad that that's still a thing people know about me.
you're more renowned for spending too much money on clothes that don't even look good. But you're also renowned for that.
I wouldn't say you're renowned for wanting to be a pirate. But clothes part, yes. Uh, Also, like, there's so many like pirate universes too. But I guess it's the fashion does it for you.
Well, it's the fashion and the superhuman abilities, and like it's like I said, it's like not like a dreary. Like I thought about the Pirates of the Caribbean universe for a little bit, and like it still pretty much sucks for everyone, including the main characters. Like it's their friends die. They're always poor. They're always hunted by the law. Like they don't seem like they have that great of a time, with the exception of Jack Sparrow. And I'm not. I know I'm not Jack Sparrow, so I'll be like random pirate number 3 in the One Piece universe. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, this is like for the broader idea of the list. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. Like there were so many that came to mind, and then the more you think about it, like anything that makes a good story is like good conflict. And if there's good
Yeah.
conflict, that means things kind of suck for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
So that's why so many just dropped off my list.
much like this
Yeah, that's
podcast.
why like I didn't go with it. So I didn't go with anything like superhero related, like because
Right.
I mean, to be a superhero, you almost absolutely have to be dramatic backstory filled. So it's kind of like to be in that universe doesn't sound that great.
And that did help me struggle a lot with my number one pick, and I ended up going with it anyways. My number one pick should be obvious to anyone who knows me. It's the Star Wars universe. Of course, it's the Star Wars universe. Is there any prompt on Earth where I'm not gonna somehow knock Star Wars into it? No, there isn't. Uh, and the Star Wars universe, again, you know, much like we've repeated, you're probably not going to be a Jedi, and you're probably not going to be a bounty hunter, much like you're probably not going to be a wizard or a successful pirate or whatever Thomas wanted to be. Shrek, I guess. I think he wanted to specifically be Shrek.
I don't want to be Shrek. I want to be in the world of Shrek and have
And you want to date
all the beautiful
Fiona.
women want me.
And you want to paint yourself
No,
green. So it sounds like you want to be
I'm
Shrek.
not trying to.
Fiona's like
I want to double date with Fiona and Shrek.
Fiona's like the only one. Fiona's like the only attractive one in the
No,
universe.
she's the only one you see.
Yeah.
True.
Sorry, go back to Star Wars, Griffin.
Yeah, so Star Wars, I mean, you do have the chance of being born, and literally just by like a twist of fate, you have mystical powers, and you can like move stuff with your mind and move super fast and live super long and all that stuff. And odds are that's not going to happen to you. But like, kind of like your Flintstones pick, everybody in that universe, for them, it's like super mundane. Like they have jobs and they're like a starship mechanic, or they are like a Rebel Alliance soldier or something like that. To them, that's just like daily life. But if I'm being transported into this universe, every single thing that these people do is the coolest thing that could ever possibly exist. Like being a starship mechanic for Han Solo, like taking care of the Millennium Falcon, worst day of his life. For me, best thing that could ever possibly happen, and there's no way I'd be good at it. So like the Millennium Falcon would sputter and die, and bye bye Han and Chewie. But that's still like a day that I got to work on a starship. That's awesome.
So, for everyone listening, a couple days ago, we had a meeting between three of us to decide the topic. When we decided it, the first thing I did was write down, you would not be on a planet in the Star Wars story, because I knew you were going to bring up Star Wars. But that's the whole thing. Like, and that's much like some of my picks too. It's like, it depends if you're transported to it or if you were born into it. Yeah, if you were born into it, like you said, it'd be mundane and whatnot. But if you're transported into it, yeah, it'd be amazing.
So when I think about you being transported in the Star Wars universe, what I was gonna ask, and I'll still ask, is like what time period, like, or where would you want to end up in time in that universe? But when I picture you in that universe, what I picture is Bobby Moynihan in the SNL skit with Kylo Ren, undercover boss or whatever. Where you're like literally just like a mechanic.
Yeah. On the Death Star.
Matt fucking sucks.
Guy Matt straight up
Like,
sucks.
that's Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah, they're just like in the lunchroom, like eating, and Kylo Ren is just like destroying people.
And there is a strong
on the ship.
likelihood that that would be what happened, except I would not be as funny as Bobby Moynihan. Let's just make that like a knowledge. That's
Clear.
fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot the word clear, so that's embarrassing. Let's make that knowledge. Jesus Christ.
We can let's make that now. We can all also just assume that if we were all in the Star Wars universe, Andrew would just only be friends with the Ewoks because they're short, and that would be his life.
I imagine if we were in the Star Wars universe,
Yeah.
we would find a way to start a podcast.
Wait, so no, but Griffin, I actually did want to ask that. When would you end up in that universe? Like when? What part in time? I can't talk either. Jesus Christ.
Personal preference is going to be like it's like the High Republic, when everything was like 1,000 years prior to the Galactic Civil War, before Luke and all them. Like that's when I'd really, because like everything, it's like the nicest portion in their history, and there's not a whole lot of war going on, but like there's still conflict, and there's still like civil wars and stuff, and like the Jedi are still peacekeepers, but they're not soldiers. I wouldn't really want to live during the Galactic Civil War. I wouldn't want to be part of the Rebel Alliance or the Empire, because it's like the darkest time in their history. So,
I mean, surprise pick. I don't dislike it. Again, it definitely depends on if you're transported into it or born into it. But I think most of these are like that too.
yeah,
It's all of our lists are up to how you want to interpret them.
except
Yeah,
mine.
and
Mine's
like
better.
the way you interpret them. Yeah, the only way really to interpret them is like Andrew's was pretty boring, Griffin's was pretty forgettable, and then mine was probably the best thing you've heard today.
I feel like boring and forgettable are like kind of synonyms for each other. So me and Andrew are definitely not voting for you this week.
In my mind, you guys are the same.
So Griffin, give your quick recap.
Yeah, so my quick recap, my number 5, was The Land of Ooo from Adventure Time. My number 4 was 100 Acre Wood from Winnie the Pooh. My number 3 was Azeroth, specifically from World of Warcraft, but from the Warcraft universe. Number 2 was the world of One Piece from the anime One Piece. And number 1 was the entire overarching Star Wars universe. And that's my top 5.
Cool. You guys were fine, but last episode was a complete outlier. Of course, I'm voting for myself this week. I won.
Do you think that you are gonna win in the people's minds and the people's hearts?
Yes.
And other than your Pokemon pick, I mean, shambles is what I would call your list. It is in shambles. Griffin,
We'll
Griffin's,
see.
I would call, you're going to get certain votes because I feel like yours is pretty niche in areas.
I don't think I'm gonna. I
I just
think
meant
by
like,
virtue of having an anime universe and a video game universe, I think I'm gonna be in a distant last place.
I'm just saying like you have some niche picks. Andrews is pretty overall boring. Like, yeah, Harry Potter, people like that, but it's overdone. And mine has food, mine has action, mine has Pokemon, mine has love. Cool, like
Yours
what?
has
That's 5 great
yours
things.
has you walk.
Yeah, yours is sad. Yours is like these are
Has
the things that Thomas
you
is
like
missing out on.
yours just has you like lusting around every fictional universe.
Oh no, if I'm there, I'm not lusting because like I'm not chasing Elsa. She's chasing me.
Oh, so this is
Yeah,
this
Knowing
isn't just
how much of your list is lust based, I am really glad that you did not end
it's
up choosing
not.
100 Acre Wood.
It's not lust based, guys. It's love. I'm in love. You guys can't handle it. I'm sorry you're jealous.
All right, guys. Well, good picks this week. We'll let the people decide. They're going to be able to vote on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Twitter. Andrew,
Choose love.
where can where can people find you?
so people can find me on Instagram at AMSSIMON. I think I'm tagged in pretty much every list night post. So just follow list.night on Instagram, and then on Twitter, if you want to hear my hotter takes about both list night topics and just overall
Politics. It's
ticks,
politics. It's politics.
you can follow me at Peoples PPLS Rep REP of Andrew.
All right, and Tommy, where can people find you?
We really don't like making it
No.
easy having different handles for
You
different
sure don't.
medias.
One of us does just fine with
okay.
that, but you guys do not.
On Instagram, where I post once a year if it's not list night related, at Captain Fat Albert. On Twitter, where I don't post, but I'm gonna try for you people. It's at Thomas RALB.
And to confirm, that's capped CAPT Fat Albert, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here so they can read it.
All right, that's the video
Yeah.
podcast ability right there. And if you want to find me anywhere, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at GriffinQ. You can also find my burner account at GQ Aesthetic, and you can follow me on Twitch at GQ Aesthetic. Streams every so often. I've streamed about
What a
once
schedule.
every like 4 weeks. Yeah, it's a schedule. Like it exists.
You call it a burner account if you tell everyone it's your account.
Yeah, because it's not my only burner account. It's just the one that I'm willing to burn if I have to.
List night where definitions don't matter.
Exactly right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you want to see for the next video. We appreciate any and all support, and make sure you're also following us on Twitter and on Instagram. See you next time.